What's up? Magnus here. Now, lately, I've been up to so many things from video projects to getting a new full-time job and also changing up a lot of things in my life. But welcome to this latest episode. And today, without further ado, we're going to talk about an alternative to the battery grip that is a fan for Canon. Now, that battery grip is actually quite expensive. I believe at like $3.99, and who knows if that'll go up with these tariffs going on. But I found an alternative with Tilta for the R5 Mark II that, although it's probably not as good as what you're able to get from Canon's battery grip, you're still able to get some pretty good performance out of there. Now, I've tested this on a few shoots, and the reason that I wanted to get something like this is my R5 Mark II didn't really have a cage, so Tilta offers a cage for the R5 Mark II that on the bottom includes a fan. Now, this was exciting to me, and it actually was pretty inexpensive when compared to the battery grip. Now, of course, there are a few caveats that I had to keep in mind when it comes to getting this cage versus the grip. And the first and foremost, and to make it clear, this cage must be powered externally for the fan to work. Now, to do that, there's a USB-C plug, power delivery in, right here that you can use to power the fan. But you can use it to power your camera as well, from the front, right into the USB-C port of the R5 Mark II, if that's what you desire. And the best thing about that is that you don't really have to worry about overheating, especially if you're like in a tripod setup and you do have external power being provided to the camera and of course to the fan, all in one connection. Now, the reason that I got it is because traditionally the R5 Mark II should be pretty good from an overheating scenario just because it has the vents. And I've recorded several dance recitals with the R5 Mark II, but one of the things that has been worrying me is that some of them are on warmer locations, but I'm shooting in 8K so I can get as much detail as I possibly can. And what that means is I could potentially run into overheating, especially since we've been going through a heat wave around here. And that actually has affected cooling indoors. But on the flip side, I really didn't experience that on my original R5 once the firmware updates came out where it pretty much cooled off that overheating situation. So I was almost thinking about switching back to the R5, but I must admit, I never really compared lately the R5 against the R5 Mark II in an overheating situation in a real world scenario. I just did a test in my apartment, and quite honestly, they both never overheated. But this has come close in those shooting scenarios, and I got even the red flash like it's gonna happen any moment, and I don't want that to happen in the future. So I got this Tilta Cage that has the fan because, again, I didn't really need the battery grip. It's too vertical for my own liking, and I wanted to make sure it stayed small and compact because really battery life wasn't really a problem for me when it came to most shooting scenarios, but the overheating was starting to become a little bit of a nuisance. And I wanted to remove that 30-minute time limit that the original R5 would give me. So I started to use this Tilta Cage. And when I got the Tilta Cage, my first testing scenario was at a dance recital. However, this dance recital, I must admit, was a little bit cooler than what I was used to when I was running into an overheating scenario. So the dance recital itself might not have been the best testing scenario, but I used it, and what I found was that this has a few conveniences, and actually ran into one inconvenience when I was filming. I passed power delivery right into the cage, and I was able to use the fan. However, the power delivery wasn't strong enough to come and power my camera as well for some reason. It must have been the connection that I was using. So I had to connect direct power also to the R5 separately. But it was fine because I had the extra cables and able to do that. So that was just kind of weird, but I've been to other shooting scenarios where the power delivery worked just fine. So you got to make sure that you're passing through enough power to the fan to also have enough left over to power the R5 Mark II. One of the advantages that I do like about this fan versus the battery grip fan for the R5 Mark II is that the controls for the fan to increase or decrease the fan spin speed is right here at the flick of a switch. So from off to on to boost is right in the back. And to me, I prefer that rather than going through menus and setting different settings. Now you can set settings in the battery grip for the R5 Mark II where you can have the fan on high when you're not recording, but when you start recording, it kind of slows the speed down so you don't hear it. That's pretty cool, but having the ability to just control it here manually is really nice because I don't have to dig through menus and sort any of that out. So it did work on this shoot, and I recorded pretty much the whole event without getting any overheating, and I had the fan on as well, so it was pretty good. But I did want to push it to the limit. So I went to an event a couple of weeks ago in basically the sunlight, and I brought the R5 Mark II with me, and it was incredibly hot and incredibly sunny. Now, my plan was to really see how much I could record with this. Now, I had a battery pack to be able to power the fan on me portably, so it wasn't really an issue. However, out of nowhere, an incredible thunderstorm started to rain down on us. So my intentions of filming didn't really work out. In any case, I also filmed a wedding recently, and I had the fan on me, but as I was filming in 8K and 4K and pushing the camera, never once overheated on me, and I didn't even turn on the fan. So the fan is best used when you're recording long sessions and you're going to use one of those very high demanding recording modes such as 8K, 8K60, RAW modes, and 8K compressed or 4K oversample, all of that. I would definitely recommend this fan. And because in those long sessions, I'm usually on a tripod and I have external power, it works just fine. I do love having this, and the fact that it's small and it's not huge, I can put it on a gimbal and it really doesn't stress out the weight of the gimbal. And I used it this weekend, like I said, on a gimbal, and it was perfectly usable. So I was really happy about that too. I'll leave links to this where I bought this down below, so you can definitely check it out. Look out for more videos coming soon now that I'm starting to slow down a little bit. And I might change the studio. Not sure, but it might happen. Anyway, as always, you can make my day to subscribe to Davis Madness, and I'm out. And I'll probably do a vlog in the coming weeks or coming days, just to be a little bit more personal and not so like, here's a thing, use it, or here's a camera, use it, or let me talk about this and be boring. Not want to take you guys out with me. So let's go. See you guys next time. Bye.
Magnus Video Productions, the